back to the FreeFormKnits YouTube channel. I'm Haxann Evers, Knit and Crochet's freeform ways of crafting uploads to the world of design. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, and if you're new to my channel, thank you for spending some of your crafting time with me today. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos I upload every Tuesdays and Fridays. There's always new and exciting things to talk about. Everything I talk about in this video will be listed down below, as well as links to my Instagram, Ravelry Shop, all that sort of stuff. So let's get right into it. I'm filming this actually a week later than I would normally. I missed my podcasting upload schedule because things have just been, it's just been a tiring week, and knitting motivation has been up and down. Things have been busy. I mentioned in the last podcast that we got a new puppy, so he's been a little handful, and his interactions with our other dog have been interesting, so we're just navigating that. And so not a lot of knitting has happened, but I thought I would film anyway, and I'll post this that Friday, next Friday, so I'll have something to post, and they'll just give me more time in between podcasts so that I can actually do it, because I love coming here and doing these. So that's kind of the thought process right now. It's just this time of year where things are just feel like they're up in the air. It's just been a year, as always. But anyway, let's just get right into the knitting. Like I said, I don't have too much to talk about, but everything that I was working on last time, I've made progress on the socks, and I have actually 2 finished objects, so let's talk about those. The first finished object is the sweater I was working on, and this sweater is actually a recipe in the Knitter's Handy Book of Sweaters, of Top-Down Sweaters by Ann Budd, and it's the smallest child size of the circular yoke, and I just did these stripes every 12th round is when I changed color, and I didn't do make ones with my increases. I just did yarn overs and then knit them to the back loop the next round. So I have this little sweater. I think I mentioned I was a little worried about the size, because I also, in addition to my gauge being a little bit off, I think I'm half a stitch off in gauge, so it's a little bit smaller than it's supposed to be. I also eliminated, I was supposed to, like, I think cast on 4 to 8 stitches for each underarm, and I only casted on, I don't think I casted on any for the underarm, and just picked up 2 stitches when I did the sleeve. But I'm pretty happy with the size. I think it'll be like a perfect fit. I plan to gift this just whenever I see the recipient, not save it for Christmas, whatever, because it's just, I really want to make sure that she gets wear out of it. It's really cute. I love it so much. I didn't end up doing, I was going to do straight sleeves, but I did decide to do some sleeve decreases, just because I think I changed my mind about how I thought that would look. Sleeve decreases always throw me. I'm always afraid that they're going to look weird, that I'm going to space them out either too quickly, or not evenly enough, or just all the things. But I'm pretty happy with how I did them. I think I have 12 round stripes, and ended up decreasing every time I changed color, and then halfway through that same color. So I did a decrease like here, and then here, and then here. That's how it ended up going, and that worked out really great. I'm really happy with the sleeve. I think it's a very gradual decrease, but it's still just right. My nips are a little tight, but my wrist fits through, so I'm not too worried about it, though I think I just need to find that perfect bind off, like for cuffs especially, just because I want the right balance of being stretchy but not flaring out. So, but I'm okay with it how it is now. That's this little sweater. I'm really happy with it. It did not use up as much yarn as I anticipated it would, so I have a lot of leftovers. But, yep, really like it. The next finished object I just started, why did I start this? I guess I was trying to, I made that hat, I think I showed it last time, a crocheted hat where I played with the texture, and I kind of had an idea for a textured hat and started doing different things for doing it top down, ground shaping, but still maintaining the texture. And I ended up with this crochet crown that I really loved the look of, and kind of just maintained it throughout the hat, and got this amazing squishy front post crochet texture that I really love. It worked up super fast when I bothered to work on it. Like I said, my crafting motivation has been a little bit on the down, but it's just so stretchy and squishy. I love it. I love the look of front post double crochets. And I just did a regular double crochet in between every like 5th column, and it just happened by accident, and I don't know, I just really love it. And then I only had a little bit of each yarn, so that's why I striped it, and I actually have a little bit of leftovers, so I probably could have gone longer, but it's just the perfect beanie size. I did some single crochet for the brim just to kind of bring it in a little, and I'm just I really love how this little happy accident turned out. So, and I also, for this hat, I bought a new hook. I've been using, I think I bought a 5.5mm and a 6mm hook. Those are the two sizes I bought, and this is the 5.5mm or an I9. What's the brand? I'm trying to look for the label past the camera. I think it's like, I just got it at Hobby Lobby. It's either Yarnology or something along those lines. But it's got the same grip. I love the crochets with the grips as my other set. But it is longer, so I wasn't sure how I felt about it. It certainly felt a little bit strange using it as compared to my other ones with the shorter handles, but I don't mind it, and it was like a nice change in my hands. So it was fun to experiment with the new hook and get this nice hat. I think the colorways, I think they're both, I love this yarn. I know this one's ivory. I don't know what the pink is, but I really am happy with this hat, though there seems to be a color scheme with my love for pinks. Okay. And the only two works in progress I have are the socks that I showed last time, but I do have one finished of each pair. So this is the patterned pair I was working on, and I haven't even cast on the second one because I want to write up the pattern for this one before I do that, but I love it so much. The yarn is, let me see, Baby Bee Sweet Delight Prince. This is the bubblegum colorway. And I ended up doing my shortcut heel in stockinette. I was really torn because it has this garter panel, the stitch pattern, and I thought I would do the garter, but the more I thought about it, I was actually so set on doing the garter. But when I got to the heel, I had last minute change of plan and did the stockinette, and I'm really happy with it. And I made my leg longer than I usually do. So it's a super pretty pair of socks. I love, you can kind of see on the block of the sleeve texture, sleeve lace pattern I really love. And I also did my hat trick toe for DK. So I really love this. I knit this pair on a 5, I believe. And I have to start the second one and write up the pattern. Not in that order. I write up the pattern, then follow the pattern while I knit my second one to check for as many errors as I can before getting it tested. So that's that sock. Once I cast it on, it'll go super fast because this pattern repeat just flies, but I just haven't felt, again, the motivation to cast it on. I'm feeling the motivation to make sweaters, which is a shocker for me because other than that pink sweater I just finished, I've been having problems with my sweaters. Like, something would just always go wrong. I think I've frogged the last two sweaters I've made. I frogged them because something went wrong or I changed my mind on them. But the success of that circular yoke has made me want to make sweaters, so the socks are waning on me. But sock is done, so I will eventually make the second one. I'm not bothered by the fact that I haven't started the second one yet, and that I'm probably gonna have that laying around for a while, which bothers me that it doesn't bother me, because I don't have languishing whips. I mean, I have 2 languishing whips right now. I have my Cafe au Lait cardigan that I still haven't gotten yarn for, and my Road Stars Hollow scarf that I haven't touched in weeks. And it bothers me that it doesn't bother me that they're laying around untouched, because that's not the kind of crafter I am. I'm not the crafter with a bunch of whips laying around. I'm either gonna finish it or I'm gonna frog it. And I don't feel the urge for either of those. I know they're gonna get done when they get done, and I have to be okay with that, I'm okay with that. It's really weird. Anyway, the second sock I also finished, of a different pair, obviously. They do not match at all. This is my Delightful Knit sock pattern, which is my DK weight sock recipe. It comes with 3 texture options and different heel options. Also my shortcut heel in both garter and stockinette for DK weight, and you can find that in my Ravelry store. But I talked about I knit this one on a smaller needle because I needed the needles for that sock. And I'm actually not, I like the gauge. I don't think I've tried this on, but I have I don't anticipate having a problem with the tighter fit than I'm used to. It looks really nice. I love the self-striping, and I have started the second one for this one, and it's actually, I had to play a little bit of yarn management. I had to wind it this much off in order to get to what I thought would be a similar point. I'm all tangled up in my yarn, my cord of the sock, but actually I think they match perfectly, which is really funny because I didn't expect them to match perfectly. I thought with the way this cuff formed, there was no way I was going to get it to match perfectly, but it somehow did. Like they've got the same fleck of blue with the ribbing ends, and then the one last round of green before it gets into the blue. So it's really funny to me that they'll be perfectly matching, at least as of right now. I can't anticipate any future problems with them. I'm knitting these on magic loop. My knit picks interchangeables. These are 5 or 4. I thought these might be a 4. Yes, 4, 3.5 millimeter. Which I used a 5 for the pink pair of socks, and that's what I usually use for DK weight, but I went down a size in order so I could have a vanilla sock on the go, and yeah, it's perfect. I love it. I have to untangle my yarn, and this one is the colorway Sprinkles of Yarn Bee Sweet Delight. Be really nice once they're done. I'm actually going to put these in do I want them in a different bag? I should put them in a different bag. My other bag is a little bit too big for... So that's all I'm working on as of late. I only have those 2 socks on the go. Really only 1 sock on the go because I haven't cast on the second one. But like I said, I've been wanting to make sweaters, and I just found a pattern for a blanket I want to make. That's what I've been wanting to make, the big projects, blankets and sweaters, which is humorous because speaking of blankets, I haven't touched my Cozy Memory blanket in so long. I think I made maybe 4 squares since I talked about it. I have a video on my channel all about my Cozy Memory blanket, and I talked about my big plan to do 2 squares a week until the end of the year so that I could have a total of 52 squares. Have not kept up with that, and I don't know why not, because I kind of want to do more, like play with colors and minis and just simple garter, but for some reason I just can't bring myself to take it out, so that has not been touched. And yet I want to make like blankets, like crochet blankets, which is not right because I have blankets sitting there that I want to work on, yet I don't want to work on it. So, but on the realm of sweaters, I'm planning to go yarn shopping on Monday to hopefully finally get the rest of the yarn I need to finish my Cafe Roulette cardigan, because I love it and I haven't worked on it and I really want it done. But I also want to get more sweater quantities because I don't have sweater quantities, and I need sweater quantities because I printed out a bunch of sweater patterns. So yeah, the first pattern I want to make the flax, the sibling for the recipient of this sweater. His was the sweater that I ended up frogging because I didn't like the shape for him. That's how it was turning out. So that's when I started his sister's sweater, but now I want to make his sweater. And I've decided I'm going to use the flax. And now I might do worsted or I might do DK. I'll just play with the gauge until I get the size I want, but I'll follow the flax instructions. Depending on my gauge will depend what size I do. He's 4, so just depending on gauge, I'll probably knit up a size. I always forget the sizes for the flax. The flax has like all the sizes, but I'll probably do the 6 to 8 year size for him just so it's bigger and he'll get some more wear out of it. But actually I want to show you what I want to use for this sweater. So I'm either going to do his sweater in DK or worsted. If I have enough of the blue worsted I was using for the sweater, well, I kind of want to use worsted because it'll go faster and there'll be less fiddling with gauge for the flax pattern. But I made his sister's sweater out of DK, and I think I want to make his out of DK because it will be lighter. And he doesn't really like heavy things. He's not a bundle up and get warm kind of kid. He wants, if he's going to wear a sweater, he'll want it to be of lighter fabric, because he's always running around and stuff. So I'll probably definitely do it out of DK. I have the 2 different shades of DK that I keep confusing, and I'm thinking I might use all 4 skeins. I have 4 skeins total, about 4 skeins total, so it should definitely be enough. And I'll alternate them so that they'll like blend together. I think that's gonna be my plan, unless I buy yarn specifically for him for his sweater. I don't know, all the thoughts. But in any case, what I'm really excited about for the flax, I'm going to eliminate the garter panel of the flax. I'd show you the picture, but my printer only prints in black and white, so it's kind of just, you can't really tell. But you've probably heard of the flax. So I'm going to eliminate the garter panel and just do all stockinette, but then I'm going to put this, what's it called? Iron-on applique on the sweater. And it's a turtle, and that's what we call him. We call him Turtle because he's a turtle. We've always called him Turtle because as a baby he had this facial expression of a turtle. We just call him Turtle, and he refers to himself as Turtle. He knows that we call him Turtle, so I'm gonna use this little iron-on applique to put it on his sweater to cut, because it's gonna be just a plain gray sweater, but this will like brighten it up, and I think he'll really love it. So that's what I'm gonna put on. I don't know. I think it should be fine. My sister bought some of these, and she bought a t-shirt to play around with, and like put the iron applique on just the t-shirt fabric, and it worked out really nice. Like, it looks really good. So I'm not too worried about using it on knitted fabric. I think it'll be fine, and I've seen other knitters use applique on their knitted fabric, so it should be okay. I should probably have gotten like a smaller patch and done an experiment with a swatch, but I didn't. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. My sister once actually ironed a piece of acrylic knitting she did, and like, I obviously won't be ironing like she did. Like, she really ironed that piece of fabric, but it should be okay. I should probably do more research into the success of applique and just make sure there's nothing amiss with it. That would just be another sweater for the books, so really nothing to worry about. And that's my plan for his sweater. That's something I want to start. I don't know when we'll see them, just because of all different reasons. So I don't know when I should feel like I should start this. Like, I want to start it, but also since I'm going to most likely be striping those 2 yarns, I'm not too eager to start it. It won't be that big of a deal. I figure I'll stripe them every round. Like, I'll do the ribbing in one color just to make it simple, but then I'll just do every other round with another color, and it won't be that big of a deal, but in my head it's a big deal, so I don't know when I want to cast this on. I keep reaching behind the camera to put things on the table. I'll stop that because it's kind of annoying. But also want to make some other sweaters for me, because I haven't made myself a new sweater, like a pullover, successfully in a long time. Well, the last one was my first crocheted sweater, which I showed off on the podcast. But I found that I ended up on 2 pullovers. I think there's 3. there was 3. There was another sweater I wanted to make, but I decided not to make it because I didn't like the construction of the sweater, though the overall idea of the sweater I really like. But I probably won't make it because this will be enough. Let's see if I get through these before I decide to make that one. But in any case, I found these 2 patterns. I'm kind of been in a mood for cropped sweaters. I don't know why. I'm not really a cropped sweater kind of person, mostly because I get cold. But I figure if I wear like a tank top under it or a t-shirt, and I'll still be warm, but I'll still enjoy the style of the cropped sweater. So the first one I found is a net sweater in seed stitch, and this is by Hobby Yarns. It's just a free pattern. It is bottom up, which I don't know how I feel about. Looking at it, I thought it was top down, but it is bottom up, and I could very easily hack it to be a top down sweater. Like, it's just a seed stitch sweater. I could just reverse the numbers. It wouldn't be a big deal. But I've made 2 bottom up sweaters in the past, and I like both of them. And I love the process of like knitting the sleeves first. I love that because it just goes quicker than doing it the other way. So I might follow this to pattern. It's a free pattern. I will say that it only has 3 sizes and just 37 to 43 inch, which isn't a big range of sizes, which is a little disappointing, but you can kind of see, like, again, my printer, black and white, can't really tell, but I think it's seed stitch or moss stitch. I was confused because people use, like in my head, moss stitch is the one where it's 2 rows of 1 by 1 rib and then it alternates, and seed stitch is the 1 by 1 where it alternates every other row. But I think this is moss stitch, or what I call moss stitch, or what they call seed stitch. I don't know. Do I know? Oh no, it's seed stitch. I could easily do moss stitch instead. I might do that. I'll definitely do that. Yeah. I want to make this one. I thought I have like this ivory color, which would be enough, but I think me in a white sweater. I'm too of a messy eater for that. So I think I would prefer a light gray. I'm actually looking in my stash. I have a light gray. I could start it in that and then get more yarn for it, which, given my recent plight with dye lots, shouldn't be an issue at all. So I might do that because I want to start things and get back into knitting, but I have to have a plan to do that because otherwise I'll end up starting sewing and frogging it again. And yeah. The other sweater I found is Southwood by Galt House of Yarn. That's another free pattern I found. And she actually has a wide range of sizes in this. And it's just a simple, I've been wanting to make a simple pullover, and I thought I would make the brick. I made, I think, 2 or 3 bricks last year. The brick pullover. And I love that sweater. And I thought I would make another one of that, but this one has like a crew neck. And the one thing I look for in pullovers is a wide neck. And you can kind of see, like, that's my neckline. Anything tighter, I can't do it. It drives me crazy having a neckline like that. So this looks really simple and just like a classic pullover. And I really want to make this and get like a really good, I was thinking something in tweed, but I don't know if I'll find the right shade of color in tweed. So I'm not sure what color this will be, but it looks really good and like a really staple color maybe. And yeah, I'm really excited about this one and can't wait to get yarn for it. The blanket I want to start crocheting is, I keep seeing it on Instagram. I think Yarn Inspirations keeps talking about it. Like, it just keeps coming up in my feed. It's like a moss stitch crochet blanket, and I've never done a moss stitch before, so that's what really drew me to it. It's a free pattern by Daisy Crochet Crafts, something like that. I'll have a picture. And the yarn requirement for it, she used only 3 skeins, which I am suspicious of. Is it really only 3 skeins? Is it really? I don't know. If I check gauge, I can find out easily. But if it is only 3 skeins, I might use that ivory color that I was thinking of using for my Annette sweater. I'll use that, get gray for the Annette sweater, use the white for that blanket, and then she has like blips of, she striped blue and white, with blue being her main and white being the stripes. I would use white for the mane, and then I could either use black for the stripes, which would look really sharp. I have this orange skein I could use for the stripes, which would be really autumnal. Or I could use scraps of different worsted colors, which would be really fun. I have no idea which one I want to do. I'm kind of leaning toward the orange, but I don't know. Yeah, I've got no idea. Oh, so many things to decide. I should probably stop this here before I get too rambly. I'm just thinking of all the projects I want to do. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, I will have decided and have a bunch of new projects to talk about and share. It's going to be really fun. I have a lot of ideas for designs I want to do and videos I want to film, but just with this current phase of life we're in, it's hard to find the right spans of time to do all those things, so bear with me and I appreciate your patience. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos, and leave a comment down below on something you are working on. I would love to hear about it. Give me some inspiration and motivation. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting!